I am using a size 18 Daiichi. And I would use a 20, but I don't have any. 18 is the smallest I got.
So how do you match the size? Because these hooks are kind of odd.
They're odd shape?
Odd shape and size at the same time.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at it and I'm comparing it to a standard dry fly hook. Okay, so here is a size 20.
9440?
No, it's TMCO 100. Okay, and I can't.
I got a 20. I can't remember.
You do?
Yeah.
That's okay. But look how this is about this the size of that. Okay, so this one here, what you're imitating is the bottom part is the nymph shuck, and the top part is the adult breaking out of the nymph shuck. So this one here I would say is appropriate for a size 20 imitation. Now basically it's pretty much the same as you tie the nymph, the rear part. But the first thing you want to do is you want to get a post on it so that you've got something. So I tie the post on at the beginning. Some people will wait until they get up to the top before they tie the post on. It's your choice.
Aren't you supposed to, on the post, taper it down to the back of the hook to get so when you dub up,
Yeah.
you get a taper?
Yep, that's right. That's the way you're supposed to do it. That's not the way I do it. Okay?
That's if you tie them.
Okay, so you can use all sorts of stuff for this. You can use your macrame yarns, okay, and this will be a nice bright post. But these are called blue-winged olives because the body is olive and the wing is blue or gray. So I have this stuff which I bought in the 90s and you probably can't get it anymore. It's called, oops, yeah, you can't see this, but it's called Permatron. Probably not available anymore. And it's gray. So, just the perfect color.
So we could borrow a piece of
You could. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this on. And what I do is I take enough for about half of it. Half of the post. And I tie off a big enough piece to work with.
Could you use rabbit foot?
Sure you could. You could use anything you want. Okay, so there, you see that? I'm just going to tie that on top like that. But I'm not going to post that. That's not enough. Okay, so I just make a couple wraps and then I lift it up and I make wraps around top like this. And you see I'm holding on to it. So I'm advancing the thread up the post and then down the post. And then eventually this comes together. So then I'm going to cut it to size, and I'm going to cut it so that it's just a little bit oversized like that. And if I want to be fancy, I can make a cut there and a cut there. But anyway, that's my post. Okay, that's a way of doing it without making bulk. Okay. Now, which is the point of what Ray's method, which was putting the stuff there, and then using that to make the taper of the body. But that's not what I want to do.
Even on a regular fly, you know, going down the body like that, it really makes a thick fly.
Yeah.
It just, to me,
Sometimes, yeah, I agree. Okay, so now, what I'm going to do is tying the hackle on is optional. What I've got is some size 16 grizzly, and I really like grizzly for these flies, but it's often hard for me to find grizzly in the right sizes. Like to find a size 20 grizzly, it's pretty small, pretty short. So I'm not going to tie this one on just yet. So I'm just going to go down here to there, and this is where I'm going to start the nymph body. So first thing I do is put on the wire. And I'm always putting it on the near side towards me, both with this one and with the ordinary pheasant tail. The reason is that I'm reverse wrapping it, so I'm not, instead of going over like that, I'm going to be going around like this. So I want it on my side. Same thing with the golden pheasant tail tippet. Just get a small bunch, 5 or 6 or 4 or 5, however many things you want to put in there. If you hold it out straight from there and then rip it, hopefully the tips all sort of line up. But I'll pull it there. And the tips are pretty well even, not perfect, but pretty well. And then again, try to make this short enough. So I'm going to go around here, 2 wraps in exactly the same spot, not advancing anything. Okay, and then get the thread out of the way, and then wrap up there. Exactly the same as the pheasant tail. Okay, so that's the part of the body sticking down. And then I do some nice wraps on that. Lock it in there. Get rid of that. And then reverse wrap the wire. Now, occasionally what happens is that I break the wire, or it pulls out, or some other disaster like that happens. Okay? Not to worry. What you can always do is you can tie in the wire up here, wrap it, and then just standard wrap it down, and that will be crossing the pheasant tail. It'll be providing safety for it. And then when you get to the bottom, just wrap it up so it makes a series of X's crossing the body, and it'll make it very, very durable. This is 70 denier UTC. You want it just makes it easier to tie these flies when you use a finer thread. I've tied them with a uni 8/0, and you can do it, but it builds up bulk, and it's not quite as good. Okay, so the next thing we do is advance the post, find our hackle, tie it in by the butt, and what I'm always sure to do is cross this so that I wrap it there. I'm trying to capture it there, and then wrap it up like this, and then wrap the thread down, and then this is the trick. Come over top, and then let it hang. Okay? Or actually, not yet. I've got to do some dubbing. So what I'm going to use is the same dubbing that I use for the dry fly, which is superfine BWO dubbing. Again, this is an old package, and I'm almost out of it. And I've tied a lot of flies. Thanks to Florin, I now have a new supply. Florin and Terry have shown me the way. So I'm not going to be dependent on going into a fly shop and finding this again, which may or may not be available anywhere in the world. Okay, so now when your thread is hanging, it'll have a spin to it. So I reverse that to tighten up the thing, and then I'm just going to dub in a body. So I go back here, just cover a little bit of that, and I go around here, and around here in front, around the post, and then I come and I hang here on the side of the shank towards me. I want it there. Okay. So now, because this is a saddle hackle, it's really long. I can use my fingers, but if it was short, I would definitely recommend a pair of Griffin rotary pliers. Okay, that'll save you when you're doing parachutes like this. Like they work so well. So now I've got that. So then I'm just going to wrap from the top to the bottom, good 3 or 4 wraps, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to go around the post. Okay, so that's 3 times around. I do 2 or 3 times, and okay. At this point, before this point, Hans Klinkhammer would be turning the hook in the vise. So that he's got this. But I looked at that and said, no, you don't need to do that. Nobody needs to do that. You can whip finish on any plane you want to. So I just put my whip finish tool in there like this. And I'm still trapping some of the fibers. Some of the hackle fibers are going to be trapped and pushed down, but 3 turns is good. Pull in there. Got it. Grab the hackle and the thread together, and hopefully with one little snip here, it's done. Now I'm gonna loosen that off. So, and I look at that, and there's a few fibers which are sticking out a little far down in there, but mostly it's pretty good. I'm gonna take some glue, and I'm going to hit that thread under there and on top of the hackle there, and there, it's done.